Good morning, and welcome to my oasis here in Confederate States in the beautiful Lowndes County, Alabama. Um, there's a lot I could say or go on, but and send up videos of the different work that we do around here on the land and what we're trying to do, but that's going to come later. Um, what I want to do is speak to you a little freely, off the cuff, something I've been talking about for decades, about this land and how this also refers to why I do what I do and the blessings of God. Uh, like I said, I'm just gonna talk about something I'm passionate about this land and kind of the history of it. Now, I tried to explain to some of my kinfolks because we did have a family reunion out here, and that was my thing. I got a shirt. I'm probably put it on here with this video, but and it had a tree, of course, with all the sibling names. But without further ado, this land here in Lowndes County. Let me tell you about the area first. That and this is all the knowledge that I know. I was born in Dayton, Ohio, but my family roots on my grandfather's side is here. From my mother's side, her father, they're from their family from this area, and I've been here since sixth grade. So I'm basically from here. I just wasn't born here. I love this place, and I've seen it grow through the years. But this plot of land in this area, which I have on one of my introductions, is that it is the Black Belt. This whole area is the Black Belt. The belt that kind of runs straight through central Alabama, from Georgia, Alabama, on through Louisiana, Mississippi to Texas. That's why it was so rich during the Confederacy. You know, it wasn't it wasn't about freeing no slaves. I mean, that was ended in it, but that wasn't the major part. It was because that the South was gaining money, much more influence around the world, and they said they didn't need, especially Texas. They said they didn't need the United States, so they wanted to separate. That's what they stopped. And they saw, of course, to give you a history, but the North saw what was happening, and Lincoln did a heck of a move, freedom slaves. Man, there was more slaves here than owners. But like Harriet Tubman saying, she could have freed more slaves if they knew they were slaves. So, you take that as it is. But after the Reconstruction, then people started coming, the Confederates started coming back and reclaiming their land. That's where you got the Klan, to terrorize the group. I'm just giving you a lesson because it comes down to this land. That's why I'm so passionate about, because it corresponds with history. That once they came, a lot of places in this area, which this area had the big plantations and the crops. The biggest crops down here was sugarcane, tobacco, cotton, um, and it was others. There was a couple of others, but those money makers. That's like cotton was like oil, So it grew very well here, and you had a whole bunch of free labor. That wasn't gonna cut it with the United States. But once the war is over with, people come back. Most black people that live here, or the slaves that were free, were looking for jobs. They would, which was smart with the landowners, was to put them on the land still, because slavery is abolished now. But put them on the land, let them work it, and they whatever excess they can have or could use for their family or plant more. That was sharecropping. That you get mines first, and then whatever's left over you can. And that's basically what it was. And that was for years, for hundreds of years, because Jim Crow lasts a long time now. There were still laws against black people here. Now, one thing, I'm making sure all my chicks are still here, because I got my chicks out. I got like 7 chicks out that are still young, less than 3 weeks old, but I'm letting them forage outside, and I'm just like a mother hen watching them. But going back to the subject is you had sharecroppers here until like the 1960s, and then Lowndes County, all black. During Jim Crow era, we had no representation. I mean, it's going right back to it. No representation, no black people or people like us that can that sheriff or hold office, anything, judge, anything. So what this area did here down here in Lowndes County in the 1960s were to come up with their own political party, third party. And guess what that party was named? And I have it up there too. It was called the Black Panther Party. And the mascot of the Black Panther Party was a Black Panther. It's a it was a movement down here to get our people into the right places that represent us. Yeah, like I said, I'm going off cuff. This is what the Lord is inspiring me to do right now. This is strictly memory. Stuff that's passed down, not only passed down, stuff that I've seen even in the county commission office where the land is registered. Anyway, Um, one thing of being a sharecropper here, well, down here, after we had the what happened here, an idea was formed, and it started to spread, and we got people, people came down to help, like when it was coming time to vote, because they were organizing here. The Black Panther Party was organizing, and it did what it needed to do to get on the ballot sheet to be voted on. And white people didn't quite like that, or at least people who owned the land, they did not like that. And what they did was they said, if you register to vote, you will be kicked off their land. You will be no more of a sharecropper. Well, and you had no place to go, and so it was a nice little, we were coming together to form our own union so we could have a representation for our own people. But the people on the land did not like that, and if you did vote, you were kicked off. So what the coalition did, they found a person that was willing to donate their land to have people to actually live on to vote. That's where then things can change for them. Well, um, that person that they came to is my great great aunt, Viola Smith, down here, born and raised down here. My grandmother was born in 1919, and she was well older than my grandmother. You know how that goes, and it's a remarkable how they had the land, her and her mom. Uh, my great 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 aunt, they had over 200 acres of land around here at one time, and that's very unheard of for a black female. I would like to go down that rabbit hole one day when I definitely had the time, or you all could help me get set up to where as I could go down that rabbit hole, and that's what sharecropping was. So my great great aunt gave him 5 acres of land right here where the interpreter center is now, right where it stands now, and he gave it to those young men. I saw it in the county commission or in the county books, the county registers, and with that land, they gave them a tent, a cot, and this from my record, a cot, and some had a shotgun because they had to take watch. Why they had to take watch? Because the Klan would come around and take pop shots and kidnap people and all kinds of things. Um, it's you call it terror group. That's terrorism from years ago, and you allow it. That's why black people get upset because you allow things to happen to us, no matter how good you say you are. Stop it. It's no cause for it. It's not Christian. It's not godlike. But um, that 5 acres of land, which I show you with the interpreter center, with I will show you. Um, it had those people on there, and they came together. And then when it was time to vote, they all voted, and that's how we got our own our we got our black community. Well, John Hewlett became our first sheriff. Yeah, he was our first sheriff, which is a man that I did meet. Good guy. Sheriff Varner was a good sheriff. Died early, and yeah, nah, I can. speak much more on how proud I knew those two and that I knew Big John. Our latest sheriff, or our sheriff that was here. So, big respect to my sheriffs. They're the only police entities that I really respected and truly loved and would help, would do. I mean, they were part of this community, and I wish we had more policemen like them. So, you know, big ups to all of y'all. But back to the subject, that's one thing that the organizers did. The Black Panther Party. That's what they did. We are the original Black Panthers here, and we got our own people in. So that's what this land is. During that time, the only person that had a telephone was mine. The only person that had a telephone to actually use, like if you need to call people from home, because a lot of people left here and went to Detroit because of the auto industry. That's one thing I heard about once I came here. They asked me where I was from. I said Ohio. They said, "Oh, we got people in Detroit, 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 all the time, everywhere was Detroit." But yeah, that makes sense because that's where the money was. Um, from the south up there. So my aunt was the only one that had telephone. She had, but they had radios at Tent City. Mailbox, was getting mail. The ladies, big up to y'all don't know how important black women are, but they raise all kids. They raise kids of the world for centuries. Um, they would bring food over to them, lunches and all that. You know how we do, our community would do and help each other when they actually are helping. And they use a lot here. We or this land helps give back to the community. We might not be at every function, but we get we this place has a reputation of being good and helpful, and that's where I wanted to stay. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because I pray to the Lord not only to feed my family, but to help feed my community. Because it's coming to a time that food, just look on the news now, what they're saying about food. This right here, when I was a boy, my grandfather was living out here. It's in the 70s, early 70s, well, mid 70s. We moved down here in 80. So that'll tell you, it dates me too. Um, we had chickens, cows, um, pigs, dog, cat, and a horse. And we fed them. And they fed us. Garden. Oh man, peanuts, sugar. You don't see a lot of sugar cane anymore. Excuse me. Peas, corn, anything you name, all summer stuff. Straw. I used to go out and just pick. My grandma had a nice little garden on the side. I used to go out and I just have a knife with me. I pick strawberries and cucumbers and all that right there. One thing around here, they used to have plum trees everywhere. You could get a plum right there off the road. I used to have plum trees right here in the yard. I got married under three plum trees, two on the side, one in the middle, and it was like a foyer. And it was in bloom, all white blooms. Yes, it was country and all that. It was a beautiful thing. This land is very important to me. Um, I wouldn't live anywhere else, and it's been calling me back here ever since I was young. Ever since I was a young man, um, probably it started in my 20s, 30s, somewhere around there. Um, But that was just a small overview. I know I probably rambled on through this. I know it's a lot of questions, and I know a lot of different comments. So bring your comments on. So, because sometimes it helped me. It said something that I might say something that I did not know. You know, I need to put it out, but I need my base to be set up to where I'm supported. I'm supported to go venture into something else because there's a lot. Am I 57? Yeah, in my 57 years, and I've done a lot. I've been to a lot of different places, but I don't look like I have. I just look like a little short chocolate drop. Um, like I said, this is Viola Estates. Reason why I say that Viola Estates, the name. When I looked in the record books of who owns what land and who gave land, and we heard stories about Tent City. That's what it was called when they put all the tents over there, and for the sharecroppers to live, they called it Tent City. And like I said, they put pop shops over there. And try to kidnap folks. My aunt, what she did is gave land to the young people that were starting families around here, and gave them land to build their house. Because I think Jim Walter Homes or somebody came out here and started building up homes and giving them an offer. Because a lot of these homes looked the same. They had the same layout. Um, so the entrance to Whitehall, 23. You go down just maybe a block, you'll see the Interpretive Center, and across the street there. And that area on all the way to the entrance of Whitehall, just a little past us. My aunt gave a lot of that land. She gave a lot of that land to people, and I've actually seen it and seen the signatures. So that was remarkable to me to find that out. That my great great aunt was that kind of a pioneer down here. She was like the mother. She is what the fly guy Tom Joyner would say, a little known Black history fact. But that's a foot soldier. And there's a lot of foot soldiers here. I grew up with the kids of the people that were in the march. And they have stories to tell around here. Big stories to tell. Now I would sit down with some of these older ladies when I was younger, and especially Miss Hester May. We sit down and front porch, have the lemonade, just talking. And she would tell me what they could and couldn't do. Just going downtown, couldn't wear lipstick, couldn't wear heels. You couldn't look like the same person, really. You couldn't look like a well-kept person. When you saw white people, you walking down the street, you go to the other side. You don't know what's going to happen to you. So that's crazy. And then y'all want to. The Bible already said it, so I'm prepared for it. And if you like, join, subscribe, like. I can tell you all a little bit more about the history of this area and the people, at least the history from 1980 that I know, that I've seen. And stay tuned. I can get my area together where I can interview some of these people. And let's tell a story, because the internet, don't forget, so this is where we should tell our stories, because it can be passed along. And I'm putting my stuff into my own little backup system, my own personal backup system, and not going into the cloud. See, I'm Generation X and a Black man and live in the country. So I know about doing with nothing. One of the biggest sports person around here that I know is Big Ben Wallace from the Detroit Pistons. the basketball world champions, Big Ben, in Detroit. Oh, my brother and them, they just up there in Detroit, they say he's like a legend. Well, he is a legend. Shoot, he's Hall of Famer. What you talking about? Well, shoot, back in the day, they had a dirt floor. This in the 80s. So late 80s, at least 90s, what is it? No, late 80s, because they went to school with my sister in there. Dude, it was something. This one of the this is one of the poorest counties, or is the poorest county in the state of Alabama. And Alabama is one of the poorest states in the country. So, and we still made noise around the world. We still had something to do with it, and we still doing it now. Because in a lot of people up north, they think we just little hicks and hillbillies. We don't know what we're doing. It ain't like that no more. I'm seeing the change. I've seen this world become small. It used to be a time that I can get music and stuff way months and years before they get it down here. It's instant now. I done ran it for almost 30 minutes. I just wanted to get that off my chest and get it on the books to where, on video, where it's talking about little history, the history of the place. And y'all talking about slavery and way stuff that happened way back when. Even if you say Jim Crow, but what about Jim Crow? Jim Crow lasted till 65. That people are still born now. People still living. And they still trying to hang folks. Still, now they're outright doing the same thing, but out in public now. You keep letting them, they're going to get even more evil. The hatred of black people, I know, I got an idea, but it's like, wow, the level of evil that Satan has over people, over humans. If you can see that and even believe in that, how the heck you can't believe in God? Because what? It's just all evil? There's no good out there? There's nothing? Even if you don't believe in nothing, you have to see good and evil. It is undeniable. Because even when you don't believe in nothing, you believe that that person gonna kill you. You believe that person gonna do something wrong. You believe that person gonna take your money. So what you do? You 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 understand the belief that you have, and you do accordingly. You do what you need to do accordingly. Is that a proper way of saying it? Yeah, that's a proper way of saying it. I just ain't messing with that dude. Because why? Because he ain't gonna do right. Then you know what evil is. You know the difference. Don't tell me you don't. Don't tell me you don't. Because even as a baby, you learn. So you all keep living. Things don't stay the same. Things will change. Things will change. Because the will of God does not stop. It don't stop because of you. Don't stop because of me. But He would like to use us for His will and for His purpose. If you don't, then you're on your own. You're out there with the wolves. But He can save you. All you have to do is come back to Him. That's all you have to do. And be intentional about it. And keep trying. Just because you fail, don't mean to stop. Keep trying. Get on your knees. Pray. Humble yourself. You don't get on your knees. Stand up and intentionally talk to Him. Don't just say, well, I'm going to try to. No, intentionally. Take your time. Breathe. Relax. It's like you meditation. Call His name. Speak. Well, even if you're drunk, speak. I don't care what you speak. Speak. That's all. Just speaking and trust in it. Well, even if you don't trust in it, speak and be sincere about what you're saying and who you're talking to. It's here. Repent means to change the way of thinking. Okay, so that's 30 minutes. I'm gonna keep going, but I'm finding it joyful sitting up here talking. But we're keep watching, subscribe. You want to see me grow. You want to see as I fix up this home. This is my great aunt's home. This is the home that she was staying in. This is the home that she let my grandfather stay in while he built that home. So I am very, very proud and happy that my ancestors, she did what she did and left us an inheritance. I would like to leave something back for my family, for my community. I don't have nothing. I got one thing. I got God. I got the intention to do His will, and I'm in health, and I can do it. And I'll do this stuff. I'm using my talent. This is my talent to do these, do this, to do these. To work. You might have to calculate or whatever. Let them use your talent. That's what you got talent for. Subscribe, comment, like it. Stay tuned again. Please stay tuned. Like I said, I'm growing here. You're gonna see how I fix things up. You're gonna see my chickens. It's like getting busier and busier. More and more traffic on this road. Ever since I live here, it's nothing. Now, industry. So I think I'm in a good place. I'm gonna have my vegetables, my meat, some, like I said, salads and different oils. The whole gambit of being the whole gambit that I need in being off the grid and going solar power. What we're doing is just preparing for what's to come. Not being all afraid, but you should do it anyway. Because this is, if you don't, you're going to be eating their stuff. We're doing their stuff. And you think that's good? You think they care? I care. Talk to them. Straight from the 4-5. Lounge County. We love you.